Who is Jesus? And what can we know for sure about him? You know, Christians are not the only people who ask these important questions. And answering these questions does not have to be ecclesiastically or theologically driven. Human beings want to know if they can know about Jesus, like the way they know about other persons and things. For Christians listening to this, please understand, this approach that I'm going to be giving in this video is not hostile to Christianity or Christians making theological inquiries about Jesus. In fact, it's pretty helpful. So, can we know about Jesus? Yes, we can. But getting to know Jesus today demands availing ourselves of historical scholarship informed by the social sciences. The first thing we can know for sure about Jesus is he existed. The mythicists who say otherwise are not only wrong, they are non-scholarly in opinion. Even atheist scholars admit this.
It's not, I know in the crowds you all run around with, it's commonly thought that Jesus did not exist. Let me tell you, once you get outside of your conclave, there's nobody who, this is not even an issue for scholars of antiquity. It is not an issue for scholars of antiquity. There is no scholar in any college or university in the Western world who teaches classics, ancient history, New Testament, early Christianity, any related field who doubts that Jesus existed. If you want to know about the theory of evolution versus the theory of creationism, and every scholar in every reputable institution in the world believes in evolution, it may not be evidence, but if you've got a different opinion, you better have a pretty good piece of evidence yourself. The reason for thinking Jesus exists is because he is abundantly attested in early sources. That's why. And I give the details in my book. Early and independent sources indicate that certainly that Jesus existed. One author that we know about knew Jesus' brother and knew Jesus' closest disciple, Peter. He's an eyewitness to both Jesus' closest disciple and his brother. So, I'm sorry, but again, I respect your disbelief, but if you want to go where the evidence goes, I think that atheists have done themselves a disservice by jumping on the bandwagon of mythicism, because, frankly, it makes you look foolish to the outside world. If that's what you're going to believe, you just look foolish.
Two bedrock things we can know about Jesus is that he died, crucified under Roman authority, and that shortly after his death, his followers proclaimed him risen. But we can also know many other things about Jesus. We can reach certainties about him thanks to our knowledge about how all humans everywhere and always get socialized and enculturated. What follows is essential to human life. These are inescapable realities that all humans are shaped by. You, me, and Jesus. Because since Jesus is human, these must also apply to him. First, human beings everywhere and always are socialized and enculturated into a specific social system at a given time and place. So, too, Jesus. Therefore, we know that Jesus, being human, had to be socialized and enculturated thusly. Not only can we know this, we do know this. Second, because of our common human socialization and enculturation, we human beings share meanings with others inside our social groups. And these meanings get expressed in language, gesture, artifacts, and the like. The meanings expressed in language, gesture, and artifacts derive from and express the social system at a given time and place, into which the persons communicating have been enculturated. Jesus is human, right? Sure. Well, that means that this too must apply to him. Therefore, we not only can know this about Jesus, we do know that Jesus, being human, shared meanings that were culturally specific to his social group. Third, whatever persons perceive, they perceive according to the social presuppositions they bring to the events they perceive. Put another way, to be human is to have a culturally informed brain that filters what you perceive, what you think about, what you understand, and what you communicate. If you are human, this must apply to you, and since Jesus is human, this also must apply to him. So these three presuppositions are truisms common to the social sciences. If you pick up any textbook in that field, you will see them articulated there. Building on this foundation, we come to a fourth certainty about Jesus. We can be certain that Jesus was socialized and enculturated into an Eastern Mediterranean society completely uninfluenced by globalism. Universalism. Scientism. The modern post-industrial city. The Industrial Revolution. A nation state. The Enlightenment. The Renaissance. Arab-European scholasticism. Justinian's Code of Ethics. Constantine's Christendom. The Talmudic Jewish religion. And the like. We can be certain that Jesus was socialized and enculturated into Hellenized Israelite peasant society. Hence, he was influenced by what we today call Hellenism, as it was assimilated in Israelite peasant village life in that section of the Roman province of Syria called Galilee. And fifth, we can be equally certain that Jesus was socialized and enculturated into a high-context society. High-context societies produce sketchy and impressionistic documents, leaving much to the reader's or hearer's imagination and common knowledge. Since people in such societies believe that few things have to be spelled out and explained, well, few things are in fact spelled out and explained. This is so because people from high-context societies have been socialized into widely shared ways of perceiving and acting. Therefore, much can be accurately assumed. These final fourth and fifth presuppositions, as abstract as they may seem, derive from the Enlightenment passion for accurate chronology, typical of historians. I am not a scholar, but I stand on the shoulders of true scholars. And while they do not for a moment believe in the diseased immaculate perception, they share the historian's chronological data set and come to certain conclusions, and further certainties about Jesus that we will discuss next time.